Okay. Today we will talk about something is called the respiratory system. The respiratory system. In our last sessions, we said that our body consists of six systems, and we talked about the first one of them, which is called the digestive system. And we said that the digestive system helps us to food, digest food. Today we will talk about the second system in our body, which is called the respiratory system. The respiratory system. First, the respiratory system is responsible of breathing. Again, the respiratory system helps us to breathe. So we breathe by using our respiratory system. Okay, how? The respiratory system helps us to breathe by making two things. The first thing, it takes oxygen, oxygen, and it takes away or it gets out two things. Carbon. Again, the respiratory system helps us to breathe. How? By making two things. By first taking oxygen, and second by getting out or taking away carbon dioxide and water vapor. So when we breathe, we take oxygen and we get out carbon dioxide and water vapor. Okay, why do we take oxygen? Why do, yes, okay, a new person. Okay, why do we take oxygen? Because our body needs oxygen. Okay, why? Our body needs oxygen to make two things. First, this oxygen helps us to burn the food. Burn the food. The oxygen that we breathe burns all the food that we eat. And when this food is burned, that helps us to get energy. Get energy. So we can't get energy without eating the food, and we can't burn this food without taking oxygen, and we can't take this oxygen without the respiratory system. So again, we have six systems in our body. This is the second system in our body, which is called the respiratory system. What is the job of respiratory system? It helps us in breathing. Breathing. How? By taking oxygen and getting out carbon dioxide and water vapor. Why do we take oxygen? We take oxygen because it's useful for our body as it makes two things. The oxygen burns the food that we eat. It burns the food that we eat, and it gives us energy. It gives us energy. Okay. Then,
Yes.
yes.
Can you start from the beginning because I don't hear?
And why you didn't say from the beginning that you didn't hear?
Because I come now.
Okay. I will start over again. We will start again. Yusuf, we said that our body consists of six systems. The first system we talked about before, it was called The digestive system. The digestive system. We said that the digestive system helps us to digest the food. Today we will talk about another new system in our body. This system is called the respiratory system. The respiratory system. What is the job of respiratory system? It helps us to breathe.
Breathe.
Breathe. Okay, please mute all of your voices because I can't. Yes, thank you. The respiratory system helps us to breathe. Very good. How it helps us in breathing? It helps us in breathing by making two things. The first thing, by taking oxygen. By taking oxygen. And the second thing, by taking away or getting out two things, carbon dioxide and water vapor. Carbon dioxide and water vapor. Okay, why do we take oxygen? Why our body needs oxygen? Our body needs oxygen to make two things. First, the oxygen helps us to burn the food that we eat. Burn the food that we eat. And when this food is burned, that helps us to get energy. Get energy. Again, the respiratory system helps us in breathing. Breathing. How? By taking oxygen and getting out carbon dioxide and water vapor. Why do we take oxygen? Because oxygen helps us to burn the food that we eat and to get energy. Then, this photo shows you the breathing process. This is the process of breathing. In breathing, we make two things or two processes. The first process here, when we take from our nose, when we take the oxygen. When we take the oxygen by our nose, this process is called inhalation. Inhalation. And here we get out carbon dioxide and water vapor from our mouth. And this process is called exhalation. Exhalation. Again, when we breathe, we make two things. This one, when we take a deep breath to take oxygen, it's called inhalation. Inhalation. And then we make this one when we get carbon dioxide and water vapor out of our mouth, and this process is called exhalation. Exhalation. So the breathing process consists of two processes. The first one is called inhalation, and this one when we take the oxygen from our nose, and the other one is called exhalation, and this one when we get out carbon dioxide and water vapor from our mouth. Okay. Then now we will talk about the organs of respiratory system. The organs. We said before that each system in our body or every system in our body consists of organs. Every system consists of organs. We talked about the organs of digestive system before when we said that these organs are mouth, pharynx, esophagus, small intestine, large intestine, stomach, rectum, and anus. So these are the organs of digestive system. Today we will talk about the organs of respiratory system. The respiratory system starts with the first organ, which is called nose. nose. Then the next organ, which is called pharynx. Pharynx. And you know the pharynx before from the digestive system. The third one is called trachea. Trachea. And there are another people can call it trachea. So you can say trachea or trachea. And the last one is lungs. Lungs. Again, the organs of respiratory system are nose, pharynx, trachea, and lungs. And this is a photo of respiratory system. Okay, let's take this photo bigger to see the organs. This is a photo of respiratory system. The respiratory system starts with the first organ here starts with nose. Nose. The nose here, this is the first organ in the respiratory system. The first organ in the respiratory system. This organ takes the air or the oxygen from the air and give it to the next organ, which is called, you know this organ before, it's called pharynx. Pharynx. We know it from the digestive system. So the pharynx is common between the two systems, digestive system and respiratory system. So the pharynx is a part of digestive system and respiratory system. In digestive system, the pharynx passes the food, but here in respiratory system, the pharynx passes the air. So pharynx is common between the two systems together. Then we have here a new part. This one is a new part. This part or this organ is called larynx. Larynx. Larynx means the voice box. The voice box. This place is the place where your voice is produced. Your voice is produced here in this part, which is called larynx. So we called it the voice box. Then we have this long tube. Can you see it? This long tube is called trachea. Trachea. The trachea is a long tube which passes the air. It passes the air. And trachea consists of rings. Can you see the rings? It consists of rings. Then we have these two parts. This one, the first one, and this one, the second one. So we have 1, 2, lungs. Lungs. They are called lungs. We have 2 lungs. And the lungs are air bags. Air bags, as they always contain air inside them. When you breathe, these 2 lungs get bigger as they are filled with a large amount of oxygen. Then in exhalation, all the air inside the lungs get out of your body. So they get bigger in inhalation, then they get small again in exhalation. So again, these are the organs of respiratory system. The respiratory system starts with nose, and this is the first organ that takes the air or the oxygen. Then the second organ is called pharynx. Pharynx, and it's common between two systems, the digestive system and the respiratory system. In digestive system, the pharynx passes food, but in respiratory system, the pharynx passes air. Then we have this part which is called larynx, larynx, or the voice box, because here where your voice is produced. Then we have this long tube which passes the air, and it's made of many rings. This long tube is called trachea. Trachea. Then the air goes to these two airbags, which are called lungs. Lungs. And don't forget that lungs are the most important organs in the respiratory system. So you have to keep them always healthy, to keep your respiratory system also healthy. This is the first part in the respiratory system. I will unmute. Hold on, your voices again. Did you got it?
Yes.
Is it hard?
No. No.
Okay, any questions?
No.
Who's saying yes? I can't hear. Who?
Lena.
Okay, Lena, tell me, what's your question?
What is the lungs again?
The lungs?
Yes.
You can see my screen? Okay, I will show you the lungs again. This is a photo of respiratory system. The lungs. These are two lungs. This one and this one.
Okay.
We have, this is one.
Okay.
And this is two. So we have, this one is the right lung and this one is the left lung. We have two lungs, right lung and left lung. Can you see them now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Okay.
No.
Let's go to the next part. Okay. We will continue our talking about the respiratory system. We said before that the respiratory system is responsible of, or the job of respiratory system is breathing. Breathing. And there is another name, instead of saying breathing, we can say respiration. Respiration. So respiration has the same meaning of breathing. You can say breathing or respiration. Both of them are the same. Respiration because it's called respiratory. Respiratory. So it's responsible of respiration. So the respiratory system is responsible of breathing or respiration. And we said before that the breathing process includes two processes. The first one is called inhalation. Inhalation. And the second one is called exhalation. Exhalation. Do you remember the difference between them? Yes, we said that in inhalation process, we take oxygen from our nose, but in exhalation process, we get out carbon dioxide and water vapor from our mouth. Let's say them again. In inhalation, we take air which contains oxygen from our nose, but in exhalation, we get out air which contains carbon dioxide and water vapor from our mouth. And this is the last photo to remind you again that this one shows you the inhalation process, and she here takes the oxygen from her nose, which is called inhalation process, and in this side she gets out the carbon dioxide and water vapor from her mouth, and this process is called exhalation process. Okay, let's go to a new part. This is a photo which shows a very important part in our body. This red part here, this red part here is a very important part in our body. Where is this part in our body? It's under the two lungs, under the two lungs. This is our rib cage. This is our rib cage. And inside the rib cage here, we have the two lungs. Here we have the right lung, and here we have the left lung. So we have here the two lungs. Under the two lungs, we have this muscle. This muscle, the red muscle here, is called diaphragm. 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 The G letter is silent. Diaphragm. Okay. What is the job of diaphragm? Why the diaphragm is so important in our body? Okay, let's know. This photo shows you the inhalation and exhalation process. How can I know that this one is for inhalation and this one is for exhalation? This one's for inhalation because here the air goes inside your nose and go enter your body. But here the air goes out of your mouth or out of your body. So here in inhalation process, the oxygen enters our body. But here in exhalation process, the air gets out of our body. So this one is inhalation process and this one is exhalation process. Okay. Can you see this part? This part is the diaphragm that we talked about. This part here is the diaphragm that we talked about. In inhalation, when we take the oxygen and the oxygen gets inside our body, the diaphragm here moves down. It moves down. Why? To increase the size of this part. This part is called chest cavity. Chest cavity. When we take a deep breath and the air goes inside our body, the two lungs are filled with a large amount of oxygen. So we need here a large size to take all of this amount of air. So the diaphragm moves down to increase the size of this part to take a large amount of air. Then in exhalation process, when this air goes out of our body, the chest cavity here gets back small again and the diaphragm moves up again. So in inhalation, the diaphragm moves down to increase the size of chest cavity to take large amount of air. But in exhalation process, the diaphragm moves up because the air got out of your body and the chest cavity gets small again. So this is what happens for the diaphragm in inhalation process and exhalation process. Now I want you to watch this video and did you hear it?
Yes.
What do you think about it?
Good.
Okay, you got the lesson or it's hard?
No, it's so easy.
Okay, very good. Any questions?
No.
No questions at all?
Yes.
Okay, next session, inshallah, I will ask you some questions about this lesson, okay?
Okay.
Okay, hold on a second.
Bye.
Did you enjoy it?
This was very weird.
very يعني we're funny.
It just needs you to focus because it's so fast. Okay. Anyone has any question for this part?
No.
No.
Any questions?
No. No.
You got the function or the job of diaphragm?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
know now what is the difference between inhalation and exhalation?
Yes.
Okay. Let's ask. Okay. We will ask. Aisha,
Yes.
ready for the question?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what is the difference between inhalation process and exhalation process?
Inhalation, we breathe it with our nose, and the exhalation we we take out the carbon dioxide and the vibration out.
Okay, so she said in inhalation, we take oxygen by our nose, and in exhalation, we get out carbon dioxide and water vapor by our mouth. Very good. Okay, let's ask Muhammad al-Gintiri. Muhammad al-Gintiri, are you ready for the question? Muhammad?
I think he left.
Really?
Me too. Yeah. Yeah.
Muhammad
Here we
al-Gintiri. Do you hear me, Muhammad?
Yeah.
Are you ready for a question?
Yeah.
Do you know the organs of respiratory system?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me.
Yeah. Nose.
Nose, I don't hear you.
Nose.
Nose, huh?
Pharynx.
Pharynx,
The voice box.
yes, it's called larynx or the voice box. Very good.
Yeah. And
Tray, trachea, trachea, and the last one is
and lungs.
lungs. Very good. Very good. Okay, Reman, ready for the question?
Yes.
What is the name of the long tube that passes the air?
Oh.
What?
Trachea.
Trachea. Very good. Very good. The trachea is a long tube that passes the air. Okay. Malik Abu Auf? Ready for the question? Okay. What are the two air bags in the respiratory system? The two air bags in the respiratory system are called? Do you hear me?
Yes.
Do you hear the question?
Yes.
I will say it again. The two air bags in the respiratory system are called what? Malik,
Yes.
you're thinking?
It's called
Okay, I will remind you with the names of organs. Nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, lungs. Which one of those organs are the two air bags?
cervix.
Who?
Cervix.
No. You were with us from the beginning of the session?
Yes. Larynx.
No, the two airbags, airbags, and they are two. We have one nose, one pharynx, one larynx, one trachea, but
Yes.
two lungs,
Yes.
two lungs. Again,
Yes.
again, Malik.
Yes.
Okay, I will share the picture with you again to see you. Okay.